been playing music for like 100 years, and I can tell you that there are definitely some benefits to being a musician. First of all, music is one of the artistic disciplines, right? So it's called a discipline because you have to actually be disciplined to practice it in order to improve. Along with that improvement, gets you get to a place where you've accomplished something, right? So either you can play a scale or play a song. And once you reach that place, it's a huge sense of accomplishment. Um, Another thing that you develop over time is a heightened sense of focus because you are dialed in on doing one action, even if it's super repetitive, but you dial in on that action because you're creating that muscle memory. And by creating that muscle memory, you come to a place where not only can you do this action when nothing's happening, but if you practice hard enough, you get to a place where everything could be crashing all around you and you're still able to focus on playing your instrument. Uh, and so while you're doing this practicing, you are kind of training yourself to not look backwards, but to keep moving forward. Because the whole thing is about progress when you're sitting down. So it kind of places you in a growth mindset because you're trying to get to a solution or to be able to play through a certain thing. And so you might have stopping points, you might have places where you're uneasy about it, but the act of continuous practice helps you to get used to the idea of continuous motion and moving forward, right? So you have to kind of approach everything, or you get to a place where you approach everything from a solution mindset rather than focusing on problems. So you're more solution oriented. Um, so automatically it triggers your problem solving and critical thinking, and actually enhances it because it gives you an opportunity to you have to figure out what the issues and problems are in order to fix them. And granted, when you're just starting out, this might be something that maybe it's a muscle that isn't as strong, but if you are practicing music continuously, you will strengthen that muscle, right? So that's definitely something that grows. Outside of that, time management, because all of us have the same 24 hours in a day. And if you want to get better at playing an instrument or singing a song, you have to actually do it. So just the practice of doing it, meaning you have to plan for it to be in your day, you have to manage that time. And last, when you're playing in an ensemble like a choir or a band or an orchestra, it definitely teaches teamwork and it enhances your communication skills. You have to work with other people so that the timings are correct. When the timings aren't correct, you have to be able to communicate that to each other. And also, when you're working with people and you're writing original music or you're playing someone else's music, you have to then ask them what their idea is of the thing that they want you to do as that instrument or that voice part for their thing. And so at that point, it's on them to communicate that to you, and they have to do it in such a way so you understand. And you have to get to a place of actual understanding in order to be able to perform the thing that you're talking about, right? And so those are things that give you an opportunity to practice those communication skills. And sometimes a lot of us don't get an opportunity to practice. And then when it's time for us to be able to communicate, it's a challenge. So I would always recommend, especially for young people, but anybody, jump into an ensemble, play an instrument, sing in a choir. Those are all great. Uh, Final thing, it's great for getting you comfortable with making mistakes. And this is a really huge one because there's a lot of us that think that the way to success is by simply moving in a straight line, right? We assume that, well, every time I get up to bat, it's got to be a home run. I got to be successful at everything I do. First try, first time out of the box, or else I'm not, dot, 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 right? If you are practicing, when you start practicing, you're never as good as you want to be, right? But it is something to behold when you give yourself an opportunity to practice continuously to get to a better place. And so you're on a spectrum, you're on a path, right? And so there's this understanding of I'm here, but if I keep practicing, I'll get here. I'm not here yet, but I'm not here either. And so I can see where my growth is, but I can also see where I still have the potential to grow. And so it helps you to keep that perspective, and it keeps you from focusing so much on the one mistake here or there, and rather focusing on trying to get to a better place uh, in total, right? And so it's definitely one of those things that can help you grow as a human. It definitely is something I would recommend to anybody who's interested.